Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranams to everybody. Thank you so much. So, so we're starting with the first chapter, Advent of Lord Krishna. Is it audible to everybody? I think you can put it in the share.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah, thank you.
Dandavat.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody. So any problem, you please let me know, okay? If you're not getting the share screen or if it's not audible, okay? Thank you so much. So now what I'm going to do is I will read the book and I'll explain, okay? Any doubts you can ask me immediately also, or I'll give you like, the end of the session, some time to discuss. Is that okay for now? Beginning, we'll read, okay? Chapter 1, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Chapter 1, the Advent of Lord Krishna. Once the world was overburdened by the unnecessary defense force of different kings. One second. Uh, what happened to the screen share?
We are able to see Mataji.
Oh, you're able to see. Okay, I'm not able to see. Okay, no problem. But why I am not able to see? What's the problem? One second.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat pranam Mataji.
Dandavat pranam. Dandavat pranam. One second. Yeah, now it's okay. I can see. Yeah. The Advent of Lord Krishna. Once the world was overburdened by the unnecessary defense force of different kings. I think after a while, somebody else also can read. I'll read the first paragraph and we can take turns in reading so that everybody will be involved. Okay. Is that okay with everybody? Yeah.
Okay, Mataji.
Okay. Once the world was overburdened by the unnecessary defense force of different kings who were actually demons but were posing themselves as the royal order. At that time, the whole world became perturbed, and the predominating deity of this earth, known as Bhumi, went to see Lord Brahma to tell of all or calamities due to the demoniac kings. Bhumi assumed the shape of a cow and presented herself before Lord Brahma with tears in her eyes. She was bereaved and was weeping just to invoke the Lord's compassion. She related the calamitous position of the earth, and after hearing this, Lord Brahma became much aggrieved. And he at once started for the ocean of milk where Lord Vishnu resides. Lord Brahma was accompanied by all the demigods, headed by Lord Shiva, and Bhumi also followed. Arriving on the shore of the milk ocean, Lord Brahma began to pacify Lord Vishnu, who had formerly saved the earthly planet by assuming the transcendental form of a boar. So, what happened? Because of so many sinful people, the earth became so overburdened and it could not take it anymore. So it started weeping, crying, and it went to Brahma because he is the Lord of the universe, okay, for this universe. So it went to Lord Brahma and it started crying. So Brahma felt very bad. So as a leader, he has to take care of, like, of all the people under his protection. So he went to Vishnu and he prayed to him and he told the problems of the earth faced by earth. So because he wanted him to save the earth. Okay. Now can somebody continue with the next paragraph? Somebody can take the lead, no problem. Everybody can read in turn.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Dandavat pranams.
Dandavat pranams. Continue, Mataji.
In the Vedic mantras, there is a particular type of prayer called Purusha Shukta. Generally, the demigods offer their obeisances unto Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by chanting the Purusha Shukta. It is understood herein that the predominating deity of every planet can see the Supreme Lord of this universe, Brahma, whenever there is some disturbance on his planet. And Brahma can approach the Supreme Lord Vishnu not by seeing him directly, but by standing on the shore of the ocean of milk. There is a planet within this universe called Sveta Vipa, and on that planet there is an ocean of milk. It is understood from various Vedic literatures that just as there is the ocean of salt water on this planet, there are various kinds of oceans on other planets. Somewhere there is an ocean of milk, somewhere there is an ocean of oil, and somewhere there are oceans of liquor and of many other types of liquids. The Purusha Shukta is the standard prayer which the demigods recite to appease the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shirodashayi Vishnu. Because he is lying on the ocean of milk, he is called Shirodashayi Vishnu. He is the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead through whom all the incarnations within this universe appear. Thank you, Mataji.
Okay. Thank you so much. Yeah, so this Brahma, when he like there is a etiquette we have to follow when we meet our superiors. We just cannot just go and directly talk to them. So when Brahma goes to the milk ocean, Shweta Dvipa, he goes there, and Kshirodaksha Vishnu is there. There's a planet within this universe called Shweta Dvipa. There, the Kshirodaksha Vishnu is there. So he goes to him and does this Purusha Sukta. Okay, this is a prayer he recites, and then he cannot see directly the Kshirodaksha Vishnu, but he will just pray to him. Okay. And as mentioned here, there are different kinds of oceans: the oil ocean, liquor ocean, milk ocean, salt ocean. So now this is the milk ocean. Okay. So continue. Somebody else can take the lead now. Yeah, Tanvi, can you read now?
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Can I read?
Yes, please, Mataji.
Can you scroll a little above, Mataji, for the next paragraph? Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah.
After all the demigods, yeah. Okay, you go ahead. I'll do it next. Purusha
the prayer to the Supreme Personality.
No, let her read. No problem. Let her read.
Godhead. He depended God. Then Lord Brahma permanently sat
Continue.
in meditation, and there was a message transmission from Lord Vishnu to Brahma. Brahma then broadcast the message to the demigods that in the system of revising Vedic knowledge, the Vedic knowledge is received first by Brahma from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, taught the medium of the as started in the being of Srimad Bhagavatam. Then Brahma heard Yadikave, the transcendental knowledge of the Vedas was transmitted to Lord Brahma. Thought he had the heart also is the same way only Brahma could understand the message transmitted by Lord Vishnu, and he broadcast into the demigods for their immediate action. The message was this: the Supreme Personality of Godhead would appear on the earth, where soon along with his supreme powerful proteins, and as long as he remained on the hard planet to execute his message of annihilating the demons and establishing the devotees, the demigods should also remain all immediately take birth in the family of the Yadu dynasty. Then the Lord would also appear in due course of time. The Supreme Personality of Godhead
Himself, Krishna. What happened, Tanvi? The Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself, Krishna, continue, would personally appear as the son of Vasudeva. Before his appearance, all the demigods, along with their wives, should appear in different pious families in the world just to assist the Lord in executing his mission. The exact word used here is Tat Priyartham, which means the demigods should appear on the earth in order to please the Lord. In other words, Any living entity who lives only to satisfy the Lord is a demigod. The demigods were further informed that Ananta, the plenary portion of Lord Krishna, who is maintaining the universal planets by extending his millions of hoods, would also appear on earth before Lord Krishna's appearance. They were also informed that the external potency of Vishnu Maya, with whom all the conditioned souls are enamored, would also appear by the order of the Supreme Lord just to execute his purpose. So all these demigods, they offered their Purusha Sukta prayers to the Supreme, to the Vishnu. So what did Vishnu do? So he did not respond. Then Brahma immediately sat in meditation. He started meditating on Vishnu. At that time, Vishnu came uh, through his heart, and he gave the message. So this message, what was the message? This he transferred to the demigods. The message was, he will appear on earth very soon, and all these demigods should appear in the Yadu dynasty and help him in his mission of killing the demons and protecting the devotees. So this is what. Okay. So, and also his plenary expansion, Ananta, would also appear before him. And also Maya also will be there. Okay, it's external potency. Okay, now continue, Mataji. Tanvi's mother, you want to continue, Mataji? Soumya Mataji?
Tanvi will continue, right?
After instructing, after next paragraph, after instructing and pass. Oh, I'll go down. 1 second. Yeah, after instructing and pacifying, from here you continue, Mataji.
After instructing,
After instructing and satisfying all the demigods as well as Bami with sweet words, Lord Brahma, the feather of all rejects or progenitus of the universal population, departed for his own about the high
Called material
material
planet called Brahmaloka. So what did he do? He passed on the instructions of Vishnu to these demigods, and he pacified them. Even Bhumi also, he even pacified Earth. And then he left to his Brahmaloka, where he resides. Okay. Okay. Mataji, now you continue, Mataji. Soumya Mataji. The leader of the Yadu dynasty. Okay. I think now Varuna Mataji, you can read, I guess. Varuna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you,
The
Mataji.
leader of the Yadu dynasty, King Surasena, was ruling over the country known as Mathura, wherein lies the city of Mathura, as well as the district known as Surasena, which was named after him. On account of the rule of King Surasena, Mathura became the capital city of all the kings of the Yadus. Mathura was also made the capital of the kings of the Yadu dynasty because the Yadus were a very pious family and knew that Mathura is the place where Lord Sri Krishna lives eternally, just as he also lives in Dwaraka.
Okay.
Shall I continue, Mataji?
Yeah, 1 second, I'll tell off. Because Shurasena was ruling Mathura, and it became a very, very famous place. And also Krishna eternally lived here in Dwaraka. Continue, Mataji, next. Continue.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. So it means that these people are all demigods then.
Yes, yes.
From the previous paragraph. They know already
yes.
that Krishna is going to be there.
Yes, yes, Mataji.
Once upon a time, Vasudeva, the son of Surasena, just after marrying Devaki, was going home on his chariot with his newly wedded wife. The father of Devaki, known as Devaka, had contributed a sufficient dowry because he was very affectionate towards his daughter. He had contributed hundreds of chariots completely decorated with gold equipment. At that time, Kamsa, the son of Ugrasena, in order to please his sister Devaki, had voluntarily taken the reins of horses of Vasudeva's chariot and was driving. According to the custom of Vedic civilization, when a girl is married, the brother takes the sister and brother in law to their home. Because the newly married girl may feel too much separation from her father's family, the brother goes with her until she reaches her father in law's house. You want to say something, Mataji?
No, I just coughed, Mata. Sorry, continue. I'm really sorry. Yeah.
You have to scroll above, Mataji.
Oh, sorry. I'll do that. I was looking at the book. Yeah.
Thank you, Mataji. The full dowry contributed by Devaka was as follows: 400 elephants fully decorated with golden garlands, 15,000 decorated horses, and 1,800 chariots. He also arranged for 200 beautiful girls to follow his daughter. The Kshatriya system of marriage, still current in India, dictates that when a Kshatriya is married, a few dozen of the bride's young girlfriends, in addition to the bride, go to the house of the king. The followers of the queen are called maidservants, but actually they act as friends of the queen. This practice is prevalent from time immemorial, traceable at least to the time before the advent of Lord Krishna 5,000 years ago. So Vasudeva brought home another 200 beautiful girls along with his wife Devaki.
Okay. Continue, Mataji.
While the bride and bridegroom were passing along on the chariot, there were different kinds of musical instruments playing to indicate the auspicious moment. There were conch shells, bugles, drums, and kettle drums. Combined together, they were vibrating a nice concert. The procession was passing very pleasingly, and Kamsa was driving the chariot, when suddenly there was a miraculous sound vibrated from the sky, which especially announced to Kamsa, "Kamsa, you are such a fool. You're driving the chariot of your sister and your brother-in-law, but you do not know that the eighth child of this sister will kill you."
Continue, Mataji. Until
Okay,
we
you
say
have to
no,
scroll a
until we
little.
say stop, you can continue.
Yes, Mataji, just scroll a little above, Mataji.
Yo, that one. I'm seeing the book. That's a problem. Sorry.
Okay, maybe I'll also
Yeah, you
bring the
keep
book then.
telling. No. You tell because others have to see in YouTube.
Okay. Kamsa was the son of Ugrasena of the Bhoja dynasty. It is said that Kamsa was the most demoniac of all the Bhoja dynasty kings. Immediately after hearing the prophecy from the sky, he caught hold of Devaki's hair and was just about to kill her with his sword. Vasudeva was astonished at Kamsa's behavior, and in order to pacify the cruel, shameless brother-in-law, he began to speak as follows, with great reason and evidence. He said, "My dear brother-in-law Kamsa, you're the most famous king of the Bhoja dynasty, and people know that you are the greatest warrior and a valiant king. How is it that you're so infuriated that you are prepared to kill a woman who is your own sister at this auspicious time of her marriage? Why should you be so much afraid of death? Death is already born along with your birth. From the very day you took your birth, you began to die. Suppose you are 25 years old. That means you have already died 25 years. Every moment, every second, you are dying. Why then should you be so much afraid of death? Final death is inevitable. You may die either today or in 100 years. You cannot avoid death. Why should you be so much afraid? Actually, death means annihilation of the present body. As soon as the present body stops functioning and mixes with the five elements of material nature, the living entity within the body accepts another body, according to his present actions and reactions. It is just like when a man walks on the street. He puts forward his foot, and when he is confident that his foot is situated on sound ground, he lifts the other foot. In this way, one after another, the bodies change and the soul transmigrates. See how the plant worms changes from one twig to another so carefully. Similarly, the living entity changes his body as soon as the higher authorities decide on his next body. As long as a living entity is conditioned within this material world, He must take material bodies one after another. His next particular body is offered by the laws of nature, according to the actions and reactions of this life.
Okay, 1 second, Mataji. I'll just explain this. So what happened? Tanvi, can you understand now? I'll explain this. Okay. So now Surashena's son is Vasudev. So Vasudev gets married to Devaki. So these people, like, they are coming on the way on a golden chariot, like, decorated with gold, the chariot decorated with gold, like, and there were so many chariots which are following them also. And because Devaki is newly married, her brother Kamsa, he accompanies Devaki, and he rides the chariot because of affection for his sister. So what happens? Suddenly, there is a voice from the sky which says, "You are a fool, because you are driving the chariot of the person, um, like Devaki's eighth son is going to kill you, and you are driving a chariot." So he immediately comes a shock, like, so he pulls Devaki's hair, and he wanted to kill her. And Vasudeva is really astonished at this behavior of sudden change of behavior of Kamsa. But naturally, you cannot talk to, like, fools who are so much aggrieved. Like, you can't argue or fight with them. So the best solution is to put some sense into them. So he very politely talks this philosophy, like, he says, "You are a very valiant king, and if you kill your sister, a woman especially, you will be going to hell." So, and he tells this philosophy, like, what is that? The bodies, like, they transmigrate from one body to the other according to their karma. Okay. So now continue reading. Um, yeah. Yeah, Mataji, continue.
Somebody else wants to read? Okay, Mataji, I'll
You
continue.
continue. My son has come. I'll go open the gate. You people keep continuing. I'll just come join in 2 minutes. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
Mataji.
Yeah. Thank you.
One paragraph above. I missed one paragraph, Mataji. The body. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Okay, one paragraph is missing. I try to take it from.
It's missing on the screen, Mataji.
Yeah.
Okay, you
No
have the book
problem.
now, Mataji. You have the book.
I'm just opening the
So you
book.
can read from the book, Mataji. We'll ask Mataji to explain.
This body is exactly like one of the bodies which we always see in dreams. During our dream of sleep, we create so many bodies according to mental creation. We have seen gold and we have also seen a mountain. So in a dream, we can see a golden mountain by combining the two ideas. Sometimes in dreams, we see that we have a body which is flying in the sky. And at that time, we completely forget our present body. Similarly, these bodies are changing. When you have one body, you forget the past body. During a dream, we may make contacts with so many new kinds of bodies, but when we are awake, we forget them all. And actually, these material bodies are the creations of our mental activities. But at the present moment, we do not recollect our past bodies. The nature of the mind is flickering. Sometimes it accepts something and immediately rejects the same thing. Accepting and rejecting is the process of the mind in contact with the 5 objects of sense gratification: form, taste, smell, sound, and touch. In its speculative way, the mind comes in touch with the objects of sense gratification, and when the living entity desires a particular type of body, he gets it. Therefore, the body is an offering by the laws of material nature. The living entity accepts a body and comes out again into the material world to enjoy or suffer according to the construction of the body. Unless we have a particular type of body, we cannot enjoy or suffer according to our mental proclivities inherited from the previous life. The particular type of body is actually offered to us according to our mental condition at the time of death. The luminous planets, like the sun.
One second. I'll give a small gist. So, what actions we do now, accordingly we will suffer or enjoy in the future life. Okay, so like this, we would have gone through thousands and thousands of lifetimes. So all our karma is like, accumulated. So accordingly, we get a body, okay? Every time, like there are millions and millions of bodies we will be getting until we completely annihilate these karmas. Then only we can go to Krishna, Goloka. Okay? It's very simple terms I'm explaining. You can understand, Tanvi? You understand? Suppose you could do some good to your friends, then you get better. You also will get good. Okay, good thing happening to you. If we do something harm to somebody, somebody will harm us. Okay, so according to what we do, we will get a new body after we die. Okay, so that's why we should not do any good or any bad. We should only worship Krishna. That is the best method. So we can go to Krishna. Okay, understood, all of you. Now continue. Vasudeva, thus requested comes. Continue, Varuna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. No, Mataji, the previous paragraph is there. Actually, one paragraph was not there, so I took the book and started reading.
Okay. So
So
now
we have to start from the luminous planets.
yeah, read Mataji.
The luminous planets like the sun, moon, or stars reflect themselves in different types of reservoirs like water, oil, or ghee. The reflection moves according to the movement of the reservoir. The reflection of the moon is on the water, and the moving water makes the moon also appear to be moving. But actually, the moon is not moving. Similarly, by mental concoction, the living entity attains different kinds of bodies, although actually he has no connection with such bodies. But on account of illusion, being enchanted by the influence of Maya, the living entity thinks that he belongs to a particular type of body. That is the way of conditioned life. Suppose a living entity is now in a human form of body. He thinks that he belongs to the human community or a particular country or particular place. He identifies himself in that way and unnecessarily prepares for another body, which is not required by him. Such desires and mental concoctions are the cause of different types of bodies. The covering influence of material nature is so strong that the living entity is satisfied in whatever body he gets, and he identifies with that body with great pleasure. Therefore, I beg to request you not to be overwhelmed by the dictation of your mind and body.
Okay. So now, according to Bhagavad Gita, there are 84 lakh species. Okay. No, Tanvi, can you understand? There are 84 lakh species. Okay. So we are only one kind in that. So what happens? You do something, then you get a different body. And you do something, you get a different body. If somebody is very, very jealous or envious, what body they'll get? They'll get a snake's body. Okay. So like that, according to your thought process, your next body will be formed. Okay. So what we need to do, so for such thing, what they've given here, such
Manaji,
Hare Krishna Mataji. I think her net went off.
Yes, Mataji, let us wait.
Mataji, where are you?
Mataji has left Karna. She'll join in few minutes, I think. Maybe net problem.
Power cut or
Oh.
Yeah. Sorry, there was a disconnect. What happened? There was a disconnection between. Okay, now you're fine, right? Hello.
your screen, Mataji.
Yeah. So what we need to do is we should not think in terms of any kind of body we are getting. So we should know that we are all spirit souls, basically, and our purpose is to serve Krishna. We should forget about our designations, outer designations. Okay. I think Tanvi might find it a little bit difficult. You're understanding, Tanvi, baby, little bit? Very good, because you know Bhagavad Gita, na? That's why. Slowly you'll understand. Even if you don't understand now, you are very intelligent for your age, actually. Thank you so much. Yeah, continue, Mataji. Varuna Mataji, continue for some.
Can I continue?
Please continue, Tanvi. I'm very happy. You continue, Ma Tanvi. Continue. Yeah,
Where's
Tanvi,
the
go.
screen?
Oh, screen. Yeah, I get the screen. 1 second. Just a minute. Failing in his attempt to pacify Kamsa. You read from there.
Failing in his attempt to pacify Kamsa, Yashudeva wondered how he would protect his wife Devagi imminent danger. An intelligent person should try to avoid the dangerous position as far as possible. And dividing by all intelligence, one fails to avoid the dangerous position. There is no fault on his part. One should try his best to execute his duties, but if the attempt fails, he is not at fault. Vasudeva thought of his wife as following: for the present, let me save the life of Devagi, then later on, if there are children, I shall see how to save them. He further thought, if I the fortune I get the child, how can kill Kamsa? Just as Kamsa is thinking, then born Devaki, and the child will be saved because the law of providence is inconceivable. But now, some way or other, let me save the life of Devaki. There is no certainty how a living entity contacts a certain type of body, just as there is no certainty how a blazing fire comes in contact with a certain type of food. If the forest, when there is a forest fire in an expanding that the blazing fire something leaps over on the tree, taps under by the influence of the wind. Similarly, a living entity may be very careful in the matter of executing his duties, but it is still very difficult for him to know that type of body he is going to get in the next life. Maharaja Bharat was very faithfully executing the duties of self-realization, but by chance he developed temporary affection for a deer, and his next life he had to accept the body of a deer.
Continue. If you're tired,
Vasudeva,
continue.
Vasudeva, after deliberating on how to save his wife, began to speak to Kamsa with great respect aloud. Kamsa was the smart, sinful man. Sometimes it happens that a most with own person like Vasudeva has to flatter a person like Kamsa. A most vicious person that in the way of all diplomatic transactions, Lord Vasudeva was deeply aggrieved as a most vicious person. That is the way of all diplomatic transactions. Lord Vasudeva was deeply aggrieved. Small daughters, he addressed the shames Kamsa in the way because he was so atrocious. Vasudeva said to Kamsa, "My dear brother-in-law, please consider that you have no danger from your sister. You are awaiting some danger because you have heard a prophetic voice in the sky, but the danger is to come from the sons of your sister who are not present now, and who knows, they may or may not be sons in the future. Considering all this, you are safe for the present, nor is there cause of fear from your sister. If there are any sons born of her, I promise that I shall present all of them you for necessarily action."
Hari Bol, you read so well. Thank you, Tanvi.
So what happens is we have to, thank you, Tanvi. Thank you so much, baby. So what he's telling here is Did you understand what you read? I will explain what you read, okay? So now, what we have to do is when there is a dangerous situation, we need to use our intelligence. You understand, Tanvi? Tanvi? Whenever. So what happens? Sometimes we use our intelligence, but in spite of that, we might fail. That's okay. But still, we tried our best, okay? If we fail, that's okay. So similarly, Vasudeva in this situation, he's trying to safeguard his wife, because at the present moment he has to use his intelligence to protect his wife. Maybe later on he can protect his sons, or like his children. So he's smiling to Kamsa, who's a very wicked person, because sometimes we have to be very diplomatic. We have no choice. We, instead of fighting with those kind of wicked people, it's better to use our intelligence and then be very kind to them and bring them, put some sense into them. So he smilingly talks to him and he says, come on, Kamsa, right now, what is there harm for you from Devaki? Actually, she's not going to kill you. The voice says, the divine voice says only a son is going to kill you. So now there is no son to kill you. So what you do is, in case in the future we have any sons, I will just give it to you. So there's no harm at all. So you just relax now. Okay? I promise that you relax. So next, continue. Understood, Tanvi?
Yes,
Did you?
ma'am.
Very good. Thank you. Yeah. Whoever, anybody who wants to read can continue. Please take the lead.
Okay, I'll read Mataji.
Please. Thank you so much.
Yes, Mataji. Kamsa became satisfied. From there, no, Mataji?
Kamsa saw the value of Vasudeva's word of honor from here, from this paragraph. Kamsa knew the value of Vasudeva's word of honor, and he was convinced by his argument from there. Can you see the screen, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, continue. Kamsa knew the value.
Kamsa.
Here on the screen, on the lap. Can you see the share?
I can see the share, but I don't know.
You can't see the share?
I can see the share.
The topmost one,
but...
the first line from the share.
Kamsa
okay,
knew
okay,
the
okay.
value of
Value of
Vasudeva word of honor,
honor,
and he was
convinced.
confused
Right,
by his argument for the time being. He desisted from the killing of his sister. Thus Vasudeva was pleased and praised the decision of Kamsa. In this way, he returned to his home. Each year thereafter, in due course of time, Devaki gave birth to a child. Thus, she gave birth to 8 male children, as well as one daughter. When the first son was born, Vasudeva kept his word of honor and immediately brought the child before Kamsa. It is said that Vasudeva was very much elevated and muffins for the word of honor, and he wanted to maintain this fame. Allowed it was very painful for Vasudeva to hand over the newly born child. Kamsa was very glad to release him, but he becomes a little concerned with the behavior of Vasudeva. Even exemplary for a great cure. Consisted in the course of duty. A learned person like Vasudeva carries out this devotees without hesitation. On the other hand, a demon like Kamsa never hesitated in committing action. It is said, therefore, that a saintly person can tolerate all kinds of miserable conditions of life. A learned man can discharge his devotees without awaiting favorable circumstance. A genius person like Kamsa can act his any sinful way, and a devotee can sacrifice everything to satisfy the supreme personality of Godhead. Kamsa.
1 second. So what happens here? After Vasudeva gets his like his first son is born, he goes and offers it to Kamsa as he promised. So here his exemplary behavior is shown. Like, so though it's a very painful act, he kept his word. And what they're telling is a learned person like Vasudeva, he carries out his duties without hesitation. Whereas what happened to Kamsa? He never hesitates in committing his sinful deeds. Okay, so a learned person, what he'll do is he will do his duties under any circumstances, however painful it is. Okay, so here he has his newly born son. Though it's very painful to hand over the newly born son to be killed, it's a very painful task. But even in spite of that condition, he's discharging his duties. Okay, so like similar way, we devotees, all of us are Krishna devotees, right? We sacrifice everything to satisfy Krishna under any circumstances. Okay, okay, yeah, continue. I think now in another 10 minutes we will, okay, we'll finish off this chapter. Yeah, finish off, continue. Kamsa became satisfied by the, oh, I should one second.
Shall
Yeah,
I read,
read.
Mataji?
Yeah, yes, Mataji, please continue.
Kamsa became satisfied by the action of Vasudeva. He was surprised to see Vasudeva keeping his promise and being compassionate upon him and pleased, and he began to speak as follows. My dear Vasudeva, you need not present this child to me. I am not in danger from this child. I have heard that eighth child born of you and Devaki will kill me. Why should I accept this child unnecessarily? You can take him back. When Vasudeva was returning home from his firstborn child, although he was pleased by the behavior of Kamsa, he could not believe in him because he knew that Kamsa was uncontrolled. An atheistic person cannot be firm in his word of honor. One who cannot control the senses cannot be steady in his determination. The great politician Chanakya Pandita said, never put your trust in a diplomat or a woman. Those who are addicted to unrestricted sense gratification can never be truthful, nor can they be trusted with any faith. At that time, the great sage Narada came to Kamsa. He was informed of Kamsa's becoming compassionate to Vasudeva and returning his firstborn child. Narada was very eager to accelerate the descent of Lord Krishna as soon as possible. He therefore informed Kamsa that in Vrindavana, personalities like Nanda Maharaja and all other covered men and their wives And on the other side, Vasudeva, his father Surasena, and all his relatives born in the family of Vrishni of the Yadu dynasty, along with all their friends and well-wishers, were actually demigods. Narada warned Kamsa to be careful of them, since Kamsa and his friends and advisors were all demons. Demons are always afraid of demigods. After being thus informed by Narada about the appearance of the demigods in different families, Kamsa at once became very much alarmed. He understood that since the demigods had already appeared, Lord Vishnu must be coming soon. He at once arrested both his brother-in-law Vasudeva and Devaki and put them behind prison bars. Should I continue, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji.
Within the prison, shackled in iron chains, Vasudeva and Devaki gave birth to a male child year after year, and Kamsa, thinking each of the babies to be the incarnation of Vishnu, killed them one after another. He was particularly afraid of the eighth child, but after the visit of Narada, he came to the conclusion that any child might be Krishna. Therefore, it was better to kill all the babies who took birth from Devaki and Vasudeva. This action of Kamsa is not very difficult to understand. In the history of the world, there are many instances of persons in the royal order who had killed their father, brother, or whole family and friends for the satisfaction of their ambitions. There is nothing astonishing about this, for members of demonic, greedy royal order can kill anyone for their nefarious ambitions. Kamsa was made aware of his previous birth by the grace of Narada. He learned that in his previous birth he had been a demon of the name Kalanemi and that he had been killed by Vishnu. Having now taken his birth in the Boja family, he decided to become the deadly enemy of the Yadu dynasty. Krishna was going to take birth in that family, and Kamsa was very much afraid that he would be killed by Krishna, just as he had been killed in his last birth. He first of all imprisoned his father Ugrasena because he was the chief king among the Yadu, Boja, and Andhaka dynasties, and he also occupied the kingdom of Surasena, Vasudeva's father. He declared himself the king of all such places. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport of first chapter of Krishna, the advent of Lord Krishna. Thank you,
Thank you.
Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So what happens? Kamsa becomes very compassionate that Vasudeva has given his first child to be killed. So he says, it's fine. You take the kid. I don't want to kill because it's only the first child. Only the eighth child is going to kill me. So you keep this child. So while going, Vasudeva, he has a doubt because one should not believe somebody who's very diplomatic. Any moment they will change, So he had a doubt. In the meanwhile, Narada comes. Since he wanted to bring the advent of Krishna very quickly, he goes and tells Kamsa, all these people Surasena and Vasudeva and Nanda Maharaj and entire all these people, they all the demigods are born there. So they are all going to assist in assist Krishna and they will kill you. So he becomes really scared. So he every year Vasudeva and Devaki, they have a child. So all the children Kamsa brings and he kills all of them. Okay. So and then they're giving a history of Kamsa. In his previous birth, he was Kalanemi and he had been killed by Vishnu. So having now taken his birth in the Boja family, he decided to become the deadly enemy of Krishna. Okay, that's why. And he's so wicked. He first of all imprisoned his father Ugrasena and he became the chief king among the Yadu, Boja and the Andhaka dynasty, and he occupied the kingdom of Surasena. Okay, Vasudeva's father, and he declared himself as the king of all such places. Okay, thank you so much. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport of the first chapter of Krishna, the advent of Lord Krishna. So tomorrow we will continue with prayers by the demigods for Lord Krishna in the womb. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Thank you all. Please accept my humble obeisances. Good night, all of you.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Dandavad.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Sumati Mataji. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji. Hare Krishna. Dandavad Pranam, Mataji.
Dandavad Pranam Mataji.